everybody, welcome to today's live makeup class. Today, before we get started, I'll introduce our beautiful model. This is Lisa. She's a friend of producer Kelly. Kelly has been wanting her to come be our model for quite some time, so we are so excited to have her. So looking at Lisa, I love her coloring. She has these stunning light blue eyes. She has like beautiful fair skin and kind of pink undertones. So I really want to complement that with the makeup we do today. So I'm going to be using my favorite color palette. We're going to be using a lot of like petal pinks, some plums, some colors like that just to enhance all of Lisa's coloring. So we'll go ahead and get started right now. So we done a little bit of prep work. So we'll go into the eyeshadow. I'm going to take a color. This is by MAC. This is Girly. I'll hold it up by Lisa's face so you guys can see. Go ahead and close. So this is a really, really beautiful transition shade. It's pink, but it's very flattering. I think when people think of pink makeup, it's a little like, ooh, like we're gonna do pink on the eyes, because we kind of tend to cover up pink. Usually we want to minimize redness or hide veins and stuff like that. So it seems a little counterintuitive to use it, especially in eyeshadow, but it can be super beautiful. So I'm going to show you guys today. So this is a really good color for the transition shade, and then I'll probably do some purples as well. What colors do you tend to gravitate towards for your makeup, Lisa?
Very, very minimal.
Minimal?
Usually no eyeshadow at all. If anything, a little bit lighter just to hide those dark lids. I don't sleep much.
Oh, you have all the babies, all the kids. Are you a night owl?
Probably partially insomniac.
Really?
I check on them multiple times throughout the night, so.
That happened to me when I was pregnant. I just couldn't, well, I didn't have other kids, but I couldn't sleep. Like, I just would keep waking up in the night.
Couldn't get comfortable?
Yeah.
Well, your body's doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
It makes you tired. Okay, so as I do this, I mean, this is just the transition shade. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just bringing it up on the crease, dusting it across the lid, bringing it up near the brow bone, just making sure both eyes are even. But some of the prep work we did on Lisa, I did the usual skin prep that I do. We did an exfoliant, we did a hydrating toner, and then a light moisturizer to act as the primer. And if I go back after we are live and I edit the description bar, I pretty much always list the skin prep that I do because I always tend to use the same thing. And then we prepped the lids. We just primed them with Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And then I dusted the Laura Mercier translucent powder over it to set it. I like priming with concealers. I feel like you get a great base, but if you don't set it, I have found that it will crease. So, right, and now I'm going to do the Viseart palette. This is their purple palette. It's one of their little amethyst palettes. Just dusting that on the outer corner. And I'm not loving, I feel like it's looking a little too lavender. Go ahead and open. I don't know, it's really pretty. So pinks and purples are super stunning on blue eyes. They're really, really pretty. But sometimes when you do pinks and purples, they can look like a bruise. Like they kind of look at the things Lisa and I were saying we wanted to cover. Like when you're tired, you have pink in your eyes. If you have thin eyelids, like you see the purple veins through it. And so usually you want to cover those things. You don't ever want to just make it look like you're adding more of that with makeup. So, but I think once we do eyeliner, I think I'm going to really like that. So I'm going to leave it. So go ahead and close. So when Lisa's lids are closed, this purple, I mean, it's just not super, super flattering, but then when her eyes are open and they're so blue and bright, it looks stunning. So I think once we get the liner and everything on, I'm going to love the way it looks. So I'm going to leave it. Now I'm going to go in, I think we'll go pretty bold with our colors today. So I'll show you guys the different purples that I like to do. So this is what I usually do. I'm going to pull them. I have everything depotted, so I'll show you guys. So this is by MAC. This is Embark. This is generally what I use with pinks and purples. And then this is from the Busy Art palette. It's like a plum. I'll hold these up by Lisa's face so you guys can see. So Embark is a brown. It's a brown with purple undertones, which is like, you can't go wrong. Like if you use this color, it's always going to be very pretty. But this plum is a little bit more bold. So we'll do this plum mainly today. And I'll kind of show you guys how I like to use it. And then I might use a little bit of that Embark just to balance things out. So I'm going to go in with a smaller little blending brush and take this plum color. And we're just going to work it right in the crease. And these colors are so fun for like fall and winter, just to mix it up. Most people tend to get a little bit more fair during these seasons. If you are like a sun bunny and you naturally get tan from the sun, you'll tend to lighten up in the winter. These colorings I feel like are flattering with less bronzy skin. Okay, if you don't love your blend, you can always dust over it with, this is that same color Girly. And Lisa used to model. What kind of modeling did you do?
Mostly runway and hair shows.
Ooh, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Is your hair really long, or was it?
It's been so long since I've worn it down. Yeah, it's about 14 inches past my shoulder right
that's
now.
Long.
Yes, but it's also very thin and very gray because I've done a lot of abuse to it.
Oh, like lots of coloring?
Oh yeah, there would be times I'd be a brick redhead, and then a brunette within the same day.
Oh my gosh.
And
for the shows?
Yeah.
For the hair shows? Go ahead and close.
They would dye it like 3 times that day.
That is so crazy. I went to cosmetology school, so I'd always go to the hair shows and stuff like that. And I always didn't feel bad for the models because you're getting like top of the line colors working on your hair. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely would do stuff like that all the time. And I'm like, oh, can their hair even handle it? Like, that's so crazy.
Oh no. You're like, well, we're paying you, so.
Yeah, you get
if your hair
paid.
falls out, it falls out.
Oh my gosh. I was like, as a stylist, I don't work behind the chair anymore, but like my number one goal is to always have everybody have like super healthy hair. Like if they wanted to do a color, like I would never do that. I would never be like, okay, we'll go red and then brown like in the same day. I couldn't handle it.
Oh, I've been
like,
scalped before.
Like your scalp would get burned?
No, I was literally scalped with bobby pins.
Oh my gosh.
And they left a quarter-size hole in my head.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. So you just gotta be careful.
That's awful. Were they doing like an updo on you?
They were doing a ponytail, and the guy wanted to add extra long extensions so that it was almost to the floor, and he kept adding more and more bobby pins, but he was aiming them straight down in my head, and my head was so numb that I didn't feel it.
Oh my gosh.
And when he took it out, I could just feel the blood.
Oh my gosh.
It was bad. It was extreme.
Horrible.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I saw it. It's
Mm-hmm.
true.
Wait, how long ago was it? Kelly
Oh.
said she saw. Was
What
that
would
like
you say, like
recent?
5-6 years ago?
Oh my gosh. Did the guy, it was a man that did it, did he feel so bad?
I think he didn't know. I should have known, because when he was doing it, I was numb, but for some reason I was sick, and I had a trash bag in front of me, and I was throwing up from the pain, but I didn't know it was the pain from my head.
Were you pregnant?
No.
You just like, oh my gosh.
I knew there was I was like, something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong.
Oh
I was just
my
like, deal with it. This is a contest. He's,
Like he
one
was
of the
trying to be
finalists.
fast.
He needs this. Like, just deal with it. And then, yeah.
You are a
I was
saint.
bald.
Oh my gosh, did your hair grow back there?
After a lot of different treatments, it took about 1.5 years to grow back.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do to get it to grow back?
Oh, tried Rogaine, tried the needle
Let her
therapy.
close.
Tried a bunch of different things.
What do you think worked?
Probably the needle therapy.
Well, I actually haven't heard of that. Is it just to stimulate
To
like,
open
growth?
up, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was just smooth bald for about like a $50 size on the top of my head.
Wow. Like where your bun is?
Yep.
Because that's where the pony would have been, huh?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm like dying inside for you. That's sad. That's
Looking back,
awful.
it's 6 years ago, but
so sad.
Back then it was devastating.
Wow, I'm so sorry. Well, hopefully that was your only bad experience. Although that's like pretty bad.
Yeah, you know, most of the hair shows were just super fun. You gotta go places, fly places.
Open for me, look forward. Did you do the one in Vegas, the big one they have every year?
Yeah, I usually do that one.
That's the one I used to always go to.
Not lately.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, they didn't probably do it this year, but yeah, that one was fun.
Yeah, that was the one where we would finish up there and then we'd fly to Florida and finish another show at the same time.
That's cool. They usually do Vegas, New York, and then Florida, huh?
It was a different show.
Oh, not the one in
But it was
Fiji.
just so happened to be back to back.
Okay. So pretty. Look how pretty that's looking. Like, look forward into the camera. I love, 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 like I said, purples on blues. And I left the lid pretty soft. This is kind of a minimal look. You know, and usually I love a lot of liner. I think we're just going to lightly tight line, but I think I'm going to keep it really thin and natural. And let's do shadow again today for the liner. I am going to use, let's try the black from the Tati palette. Let's actually test some blacks today. So this is the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette, and she has a matte black in here. And then I also have the Viseart Warm Neutrals palette, and there is also black. So let's do one on each eye and kind of compare them, because both of these palettes have fabulous mattes. So I'm going to grab a skinny brush. So for tight lining, when I do precise, I like a really skinny brush, really narrow. And the Anastasia brow brushes they're so good. They're the best. Okay, so let's do this side with the Tati palette. So this is the matte black. Go ahead and open, but look down for me. I'm gonna just go in between your lashes. Did you get your makeup done at the shows? Or did you do your own makeup?
Most of the time, actually all the time, they would always have a makeup artist, but sometimes you gotta go to the bathroom and just change a few things.
Oh, go ahead and look at the brush. Follow it this way for me and down. What's like the thing you would always change? Or was it different every time?
Usually it's the eyes, because they just would make me look like a night walker.
Go ahead and close for me. That's funny. Because it was stage makeup, like you're on, yeah. But then people come close probably and come take pictures like after the show. So you're like, I can't be too crazy.
Well, a lot of times they're like, oh, let's just go like extreme, like let's do huge orange flames coming out the eyes.
Oh my god!
And it sounds like a good idea until you see it on someone and you're like, too late. You can't change it. You're gonna go out like that.
That is so funny.
No.
And for you, Miss Natural, you're like, no, please, no flames, please.
There was, yeah. I think there was only probably 3 times I can count when I actually liked my makeup.
Really? All right, well, the bar is high for me. We'll see.
No, it's not, because you don't do hot pink flames.
No, I don't. Look this way for me. Good. Actually, look down. Good. A little easier. Okay, go ahead and look forward. So I'll tell you guys a trick. When you're tight lining and you want a tiny little wing, if you clean up the eyeshadow like I did prior to doing the eyeliner, it's a dream. Like, you can know exactly where to put your line. So what I did is I used a baby wipe and I cleaned up under Lisa's eyes, and I winged out the eyeshadow. Go ahead and close for me. So then as I'm doing the eyeliner, I can see exactly where my little like flick needs to be, and I don't have to have Lisa open her eyes. Go ahead and open again for me. So usually when you do like a flick or a wing, it's best to have them look straight forward, because then you can see where the tail needs to be. But if you've already established that line, it's so easy. Okay, so that was actually close again for me. This is the Tati black, and it was great. Sometimes matte blacks are one of those colors that's actually a little bit tricky in makeup. I'll wipe off my brush, to be fair, because it just requires so much pigment and you don't want to keep blending it up. And so sometimes I'll have a palette and I will love every eyeshadow. They're formulated so great, but the matte black ones will just look a little gray or something like that. But that one was good. I mean, I like both these. I use them, but okay, go ahead and look down again, but don't close. Perfect. Actually, let me show the camera kind of the difference. Go ahead and look forward. See how this one added just a lot more drama? This is going to balance with the lashes we do on Lisa. So when we pop a lash on her, it will just look more intense near the bottom, and whereas this one's more soft and maybe an everyday. Look, they're both very pretty. Okay, look down for me. Good. And for those of you guys in the chat, if you ever want Kelly to zoom in a little closer, just let her know. Okay, go ahead and look forward. Go ahead and close. I feel like the Viseart shadows aren't like quite as creamy as the Tati ones. It doesn't go on as intense like first tap, which makes it probably a little bit cleaner. You're not getting as much fallout, but it's not quite as stark of a black. Okay, go ahead and open and look over this way. Good. And down sort of. Okay, go ahead and close for me. Good. So when you would get your hair dyed at the hair shows, like let's say they did like orange with like light orange highlights, like something crazy, would you keep it, or like if that was the final product, or would you leave the show and go get it colored that week back to something more?
No, because my hair is so damaged, you know, you do need that recovery time. So I would go home, or I'd go to school. At the time I was going to high school.
Oh my gosh, you were young.
And I would have
look forward.
bright orange, red hair.
Really?
And I would just, yeah.
And you would just rock it?
Like, get used to it. It's going to be a different color next month.
Well, it was probably beautiful. It was probably a fantastic shade of whatever they did.
It was fun.
The model. That is fun. We probably started off, I mean, I can't tell because your hair's in a bun. It looks great, but you probably started off with super healthy natural hair, because those are the girls they like to get for models. It's like never been colored, really long and thick.
They love virgin hair.
It's like the unicorn in the hair world. If you have virgin hair, it's like, oh, I can't wait to color it.
Go get an agent. You will make good money.
Yes. If you're out there watching and you have never had your hair colored, it's called virgin hair. Go become a hair model. Okay, so pretty. I like the way this looks. I think I'm going to smoke out the eyeliner a little bit with more plum in the corner, because the liner is so dark. I want to add a little bit more pigment. Go ahead and close. So I think I like the black from the Tati palette better, I would say. It just has more punch to it, so it's quicker. I feel like just one tap and I got a nice amount of payoff. The Viseart one I layered. But they're both good. Great shadows. Okay, go ahead and open. Perfect. All right, we will do some lashes. I'm going to curl your lashes and have you look forward. Perfect. Does that pinch at all?
No, not at all.
Good. Does that pinch? Your natural lashes are pretty curled. Like they already had a bit of a lift.
They're just really blonde.
They're not super, super blonde. I'd say they're, yeah. I've seen blonder for sure. Okay, we will do, these are called Little Black Dress. These are Kiss lashes. I picked up, I love Kiss lashes. I love all lashes, but I have my go-tos in the Kiss lashes, and I grabbed these last time Ulta was having, they do buy one get one 50 often on their lashes, and I hadn't tried this style, the Little Black Dress, but I really like it. Open? Good. I feel like it's a really, actually open. It's a really sort of subtle, wispy looking lash. It's very pretty. So we're going to do clear lash glue, and we're going to use the Callus brand today. So you mainly did hair show modeling. Did you do anything else? Any other type of modeling?
Clothing runway.
Oh, cool. Oh, so you did lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fun. Which was your favorite?
Runway. Well, no. Hair shows.
Hair shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a hair model, you get to kind of like sit there and relax.
Yeah, you
Just
literally, sometimes you're
for
working
hours
for
and hours.
15 minutes a day.
Yeah?
You're just sitting there 15 minutes, they're like, go do your thing, come back, you're done.
Oh, that's so fabulous. Okay, I'm going to pull up the chat on my phone. If you guys are in the live chat, say hello. We love our live chatters. Take me a second to pull it up. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Crystal. Aw, thank you, Crystal. You're so sweet. Okay, we'll get this lash on. Gonna have you look down for me. So I've been using, I didn't obviously use it today, but I really love the Natasha Denona, the bronze palette. I've been using it a ton on my channel, and just recently, it might have even been this week, she came out with a cool tone palette. Go ahead and stay looking down, but don't close. And I ordered it. I'm so excited that I'll show you guys the Natasha Denona bronze one. So this is the one I've been using a ton, and it's stunning. I love it. But I know some of you watching don't, everyone I think loves warm tones, but the bronze palette is very warm. It's intended to be. And on some people, you just prefer cool tones. They're more flattering. But in my experience, I feel like it's hard to find a good cool tone palette. There's honestly only been a couple where I love more than just like 2 of the shades in them. It just seems to be when people make a cool tone palette, they just throw cool tone colors out there. But I think cool tone colors are harder to formulate to get them to be very flattering to multiple skin tones and skin shades. And the Natasha Denona one looks so good. So I'm excited. I ordered it from Sephora 2 days ago. So when it comes, I'll do that on my next live so you guys can see. I'm excited. I've seen a couple releases of cool tone palettes lately. So I think that's going to be sort of the next trend, and I'm excited. Okay, we'll get that. So when you apply lashes, the number one key is to make sure your glue is dry enough. If you go on too early, they're not going to stick. Do you wear false lashes ever, Lisa?
Mm-mm.
Probably not if you're more into the minimalist look or not much makeup.
I'll do extensions every once in a while, but they're a pain once they start growing out.
The extensions?
Mm-hmm.
Will you do them and then not get them, like you'll do a set and then kind of let them grow out?
Oh, I'll wear goggles in the shower. They will last forever until they start literally like going to where they're like flopping around because they're so long.
So long.
They've grown out so bad.
Oh, you're like a lash artist's dream. If you did go get them filled, they would love you. If you like wear goggles and like don't sleep on your face.
I would never wear makeup if I just had eyelash extensions all the time.
They're the best. I used to do those when I moved to California from Utah. I stopped taking hair clients. I only did makeup and hair for events, and then I exclusively did lash extensions. And the majority of my client were very natural. Like, it's not the glam girls like you would think. Like, there were people who didn't want to wear makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you're saying, that's all you have to do is have your lashes on, and then, like,
you're done. You feel
look
good. Yeah.
Go ahead and look up. I did a ton of nurses because it's like you just work crazy shifts. Like, they want to look good because you're working with people all day, but ain't nobody got time to do makeup in the morning.
12-hour shifts.
Oh my gosh, I know. Like, I had one girl start coming to me, and they just looked so pretty on her eyes. And she worked on, she said she worked on the 4th floor, and pretty soon every nurse in the 4th floor was like getting their lashes done by me. They're like, we love it. So when you do eyeliner with eyeshadow, it's going to transfer to the bottom, which I like because it's going to sort of give a shadow to Lisa's bottom lash line. I think that's pretty. But be mindful of that. If that's something you don't like, do not do shadow for your liner. But I like it. Okay. Now we are going to move on to the skin. So Lisa is pretty fair, so I mixed up a couple things. Whenever I do more fair skin, I feel like I'm cocktailing a lot of foundations because it's just harder to match the undertones. Have you noticed that, Lisa, when you shop for foundation?
It's always difficult. I usually stick with the IT Cosmetics and do a little bit of concealer and be done.
I love do you do their BB cream? Or their CC cream?
Once in a blue moon, but I feel like it's a little too oily for me. Has too much sheen.
It does. They have a matte one now. Have you tried the matte one? Because their regular it's very, very dewy, which is like very natural. I think that's why they did that. But if you don't like
when you're going out in the sun, it's like indoors that might look natural. Outdoors, not so much.
Yeah. Do you get oily?
I think right now it's combination, but after that third child, everything just goes cuckoo.
Your skin changed?
Everything changed.
Really? When I was pregnant, I had like the best skin I've ever had. I was so excited. But then like 6 months after having her, it went so weird. I was like, are my hormones regulating? This is the worst. It's funny how it makes sense. Your body's like doing a lot of work. You're growing a little human, but it's crazy the things it affects.
Oh, men, if they only knew.
They truly could not handle it. Okay, so what I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting and contouring on Lisa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little bit of a darker color in my foundation, and that's what I'm going to do on her forehead. So you get a nice transition. So we did, I actually only mixed 2 shades. So we did NARS. So we did Vienna and Oslo. So light 1 and light 4.5. In the lighter shades, I'll pull them all out for you guys. So those of you with fair skin can kind of see. I'll show you why I mix such like a drastic shade range. So this is, and I'll kind of hold them by Lisa a little bit. So this is Vienna. This is a really good shade. This matches a lot of like lighter to fair skin, medium fair skin. But then these lighter ones, like this is, I label them myself. I love my label maker. So we have light 1, 2.5, 3, 4.5. So 4.5 is a really good base. It's a little bit warmer, like slightly gold in it, so it does a good job of covering redness and stuff like that. But then all these lighter ones, you can see the big variations in the undertones. Like this one is very, very yellow. This one's very pink, and this one is pink too, but in a different way. And so generally I'll use this one as my base, and then I'll use these as mixers unless somebody fair has a very, very, very strong undertone. Like if they're very yellow, I would use this one, or if they're very I would say this one's more red and this one's more pink, even though that's the same. Pink is just red, but it makes sense when you look at them. So I mixed these two on Lisa. So they have more shades. I don't carry every shade. I have the lightest and the darkest, and then a gradient of a couple in between ones that I mix. But if you have fair skin and you can just not get your foundation matched, because I'll have people ask me that question, and you just have a really hard time, what I would do is just mix 2 by 2 shades that are your color, and then just in a different foundation bottle or an old foundation bottle of something you've ran out of, just put your own mix in there and use that, because I think NARS does a good job. I think if I owned all the colors, I would be able to match everybody, but there are some lines where they just don't. You either know what I'm referring to or you don't. I feel like there are some skin undertones and they just have the hardest time finding foundation, and it tends to be the either end of the spectrum. So darker skin, I know is hard, and for people to get their foundation matched, mostly because companies just don't usually have a great shade range, and then very fair skin can be tricky for people going to shop for makeup. Okay, see how that like transitioned into her hairline nicely? Sometimes when you do a really light color on top, especially because she has like a cute high bun, we're seeing all the forehead. I like the gradient, and then when we add a little bit of contour next, it will just help blend it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some cream contouring today. I think we're doing pretty good on time. So, okay, so this is Graftobian. I really love Graftobian's cream. So this is one of their contour palettes. I'll probably use these lighter. Gonna do kind of a mix for Lisa so she doesn't feel too bronzy. Actually, as I'm mixing, I changed my mind. I'm gonna do Huda Beauty. This is her Tantour, and this is the shade Fair. So this one's really good because the undertones are more subtle. My Graftobian palette is definitely on the warm side, which I love. It gives like a really pretty bronzy contour. Okay. Yeah, the Huda Beauty is just really good for a more subtle contour. I'm not doing a bronzy look, so I don't want her contour to be super warm. I just want to sculpt the face. When you would do the hair shows, would they do a lot of contouring and highlighting and stuff, or more just crazy eye looks?
It was either one or the other. So they would either do extreme lips or extreme eyes, and everything was just 10 times, tenfold.
Yeah.
Just because of the lights and everybody being so far away, everything had to stand out. Every time you looked in the mirror, you just freak out.
That's fun though. Do you prefer, if someone's gonna go crazy on you, would you rather have a really crazy hairstyle or hair color? If it didn't, let's say no damage. Let's say it all like would be back to normal the next day. Would you rather model a really crazy something or makeup look?
Hair.
Hair?
Mm-hmm.
Hair's fun.
I think the very last one I did was pastel pink. My daughter loved it.
Oh, that'd be so cute. That'd be pretty on you.
It slowly faded away.
That'd be so cute. Fade, but it's a little bit of a pain to get all the undertones out of your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you feel like you could only wear certain clothes? I feel like when I had purple hair, I had to wear pastels or white or black.
Most of my stuff is very neutral, so.
So you were good.
Yeah.
I think there's only one video on my channel where I had the purple hair. I took it out pretty quick, but I really liked it. It made me not understand, but it made me even more in favor of like people wearing wigs. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. You can just change your color and not damage your hair or not deal with that. Cute.
For the painting channel, I do use lavender and blue wig.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
That is so awesome. Lisa has a painting channel, and you teach live lessons.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool. Which nights? What's your streaming schedule?
Tuesday, Thursday.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. But it tells people we're here to have fun, not to be serious.
Yeah. I love that. That's super cute. What's your channel called?
Rosina Ranch Paint Nights.
Awesome. Painting is super relaxing. I'm not an expert painter, but just when I've done painting classes and stuff like that.
If you're probably good with makeup, you're probably good with palette and paintbrush.
So I feel like there's a lot of crossover. When I've done, my mom's super crafty and she likes painting, and I've done little painting classes with her, and I feel like a lot of the techniques it does kind of feel like instead of painting a face, you're painting a canvas. So you're probably good at makeup too.
I'm good at face paint.
Yeah. Oh, I bet your kids love that.
You know, not so much. My kids get really annoyed.
Really?
And they want to leave, but their friends come over, and then their friends will let me work on them for like an hour, and then that's when I get the really cool stuff going.
That is so fun. Are you like the funnest mom for Halloween? Do you go all out with the costumes?
Sometimes, if I have time. But there's like a Chewbacca costume in my closet that I've been working on for 3 years. I need to finish.
Oh my gosh. For you or one of the kids?
Maybe for me. I've wanted to pull it out a few times for Star Wars Day or Disneyland,
Oh
but
my gosh.
I procrastinate.
That's so fun though. That's so cool.
Lisa's the sewing queen.
Oh, Callie says Lisa's
Yes.
great at sewing.
I can sew, but do I like it? No. I like designing, not sewing.
Really?
Hmm.
My mom is like, so she's just good at everything. She's way crafty, but she used to sew our whole family matching outfits. We lived in Texas, so we'd go to the rodeo every year, and she would sew us like matching like paisley outfits, and like
Where
it
in
was
Texas were you?
amazing. Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if she taught me. I took like home ec in junior high. I've sewed some things and I like it, but I like projects you can finish in like 2 or 3 days, because when it takes forever, then it weighs on you, and then you're like, I gotta go sew my Chewbacca costume or whatever. But that's fun. That's fun. You're so artsy. Okay, we're gonna do the Senna palette. I love, love, love the cream blush. I think we're gonna do the shade Petal. So I'll hold it up at least so you guys can see. So this one has a nice petal pink sort of rose undertone that's going to be very pretty. All right, so I'm going to grab, just using all my brushes today. We'll try this with a brush. I love creams and liquids with my finger. So that's usually what I do. Just because there's heat from your finger, it's going to melt it into the skin, but we'll try it with the brush today. This product, the cream, it blends pretty nicely into the skin, no problem. So it's working really well with the brush. I just feel like you have more control with your finger, because obviously your finger is smaller, so you can really be accurate with your placement. But I feel like using the brush is way faster than when I use my finger. So we'll see. We'll see what I do in the next live. Oh, so much faster than the finger. It blends it quicker. Although the finger blends it great, it's like way slower. It's a pretty color. You definitely look good with the pinks, Lisa. Cute. Okay. And I'm deciding, let's do like a little bit of a nose contour. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Still, teeny bit. So this is a good color for that. The Huda Beauty Tantours for fair skin are really good. I feel like you can do contouring on the face and it looks a little bit more natural than if you did a bronzer. You can see it definitely has like a warmer undertone. It's not a complete ashy color or anything like that, but it's more wearable. So I like to bring the nose contour up into the eye contour. I generally will add some color in this area, and so when I do the nose contour, I'll just bring it together and it looks more seamless. It's just pretty. I think when people have their hair in like a cute high bun like Lisa or a big pony or something, I really love a nose contour because you just see so much more face, and I feel like it's really pretty. It brings attention to the center of the face, and I really like it. Because ponies kind of give you like an instant facelift, or buns. It's like they lift
And the
everything.
older you get, the better it is.
Okay, now let's set. We'll do, this is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. So good. Okay. This is just a tapered brush. And do go ahead and look up. So I did Tarte Shape Tape, or no, I did NARS Creamy Radiance under Lisa's eyes. And you're really not creasing at all. Oftentimes I'll have to immediately set my under eye concealer because just generally everyone's concealer is going to crease. It just is, like, unless the person never smiles and never has smiled in their life. Then they probably won't have creasing. But it's not even with age too. Like younger girls, just everybody, it's like we smile. We've probably smiled since we were like 6 months. Actually, I don't remember what age babies start smiling. But younger than that, right? Young, like I should know.
Some straight out the bat.
My little baby, she's like the world's happiest child, but she's like a pretty serious little baby. Like she would only smile every once in a while. Maybe at like, yeah, a couple weeks or something, they kind of start to smile, but I don't put a ton of foundation on the nose. It's just gonna rub away, and you don't want that area to look cakey. The skin is just different. Like the skin on the nose is harder, and so if you put a lot of foundation, it doesn't have anywhere to go. Like it doesn't settle. And so sometimes when I do any contouring, it'll wipe away like a little bit of the foundation, and there was like a little bit of redness there. That's what I'm covering up. Okay. I generally set the contour with a little bit of bronzer. I think I'm going to on her forehead just to even it out slightly. But I don't really want this look to be very, very bronzy, so probably won't do much. Sometimes I'll go, do you care if I put a little powder in your hair? Is that okay? Okay. Give you a little root touch up.
Those white hairs coming through.
I didn't notice them until I was up close. This is like a really good trick, you guys, because I think it's some places salons are still closed. So if you have roots and you want to wear your hair up, sometimes when, I don't know, on some people when your hair's down you see the color more, on some people when it's up you see it more, but it's so awesome to just put makeup in the roots. You have an extra 2 minutes. It's amazing. So I'll kind of turn you to the side. Like, look how good, obviously it's not covering everything, but look how well that blends versus like this side. So I'll show you guys. And the problem is, it's when you do makeup. So when you do foundation and contouring, your skin becomes like a new color, essentially. Even though you're matching, you're doing all these other colors. And so you can see your scalp through it. And then the color of like whiter hairs or whatever becomes more apparent. Before Lisa had makeup on, you didn't even notice. So I'm doing a bronzer, this Hoola bronzer. I'm doing that in her hair because she has a lot of, at least in her bun, she has a lot of gold, like really beautiful, kind of a golden blonde color. And so this is gonna look fantastic. I really love, I'll use my eyeshadow palette a lot too for hair, for root touch-ups, especially when I worked with photographers and they were photographing people, and we used to send people, like I would send them an email of all the things to do before if they wanted, like go get your nails done, go get your roots touched up. But if they didn't, the photographer hated editing the grays out, like, because I guess it took a long time. And I'm like, oh, I got you. So I would just color the hair with makeup before they started. Okay, stunning. We'll do a little bit of contouring under the cheeks. You have really good cheekbones, Lisa. I'm sure they enjoyed that when you were a model. It makes for a good hair model, honestly, like good cheekbones, because then they can do the really tall, elaborate things, and you have good bone structure to pull it off. All right, let's do some highlighting. Let's do Becca today. We'll do Becca and Dior. I will try to do a look without using Hourglass highlighters. Okay, check them in the chat. Hi, Crystal. Okay, great tip on the foundation colors. You make matching foundation look like a dream. Thank you. She says, I wish you could do my makeup someday. You're the best. Oh, thank you, Crystal. You're so sweet. Crystal, if you live in Southern California, I can do makeup. You can model. If anyone ever wants to model, DM me on Instagram. Okay, so this is so pretty on your skin, Lisa. This is Becca. This is Moonstone. So Moonstone is so pretty on more fair skin. It's not too gold. I don't love highlighters that are very, very gold on fair skin. It's just off. I feel like oftentimes fair skin doesn't have as much yellow undertones, so. Okay, this is like my cutest little tiny brush. I love this for highlighting. I like highlighting the inner eye corner too. I think I'm going to use this palette too. Okay, this is the Anastasia Glow Kit. This is Nicole Guerrero. This came out a couple years ago, and it was limited edition, and I love it so much because all the highlighters have sort of pinky and peach undertones. Like, I mean, they look warm, but it's more so like a cool palette, cool toned highlighting palette than others, like if you mix them correctly. And I just love it. And they came out with it again, so it was limited edition, but now you can again get it. And I think it's so pretty. I really like the shade Forever Young. It's like a lavender. But all the Anastasia Glow Kits are very, very glowy. Like, they look wet. They're really pretty. Okay. Pretty. We'll do some lips. I think I'm going to do Angel by MAC or Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury, or a mix. But we'll start with Angel. Angel's a little bit lighter. Angel is one of my very, very favorite pinks ever. It's so gorgeous. It has like a little bit of a blue undertone. The only time I don't like it, on some people it's just not enough. Kind of look washed out. I think it's going to be pretty on Lisa though. I'm really into like sculpting out the lips, giving them a really nice shape, and with more lighter toned lip colors, it's hard to do that just because you don't get as harsh of edges. So I might add a little bit of liner, or I might add a darker lipstick just on the edges, but we'll see. This color Angel, I believe it is a cream sheen blush, one of their like sort of shinier lipsticks. It's not matte, and so you don't get as much of a pigment, but look how pretty it is. It's almost like a lip tint. Like my first layer on Lisa is very sheer, and that's super pretty. It makes it really, really wearable. Yeah, I like it. I'm glad we just did this color. I love lip liners too. I generally use them, but when I go, if I want a very like petal lip, I don't love a lip liner because it's just too much product. When you do a sheer lipstick like this, something about it is very romantic and very soft, but when it's too opaque, it just like, it looks weird that it's such a light color, if that makes sense, in my opinion. So sometimes I will skip lip liners for that reason. And I'll probably add a gloss too. This lipstick is very bridal. Brides are liking a little bit more color on their lips now. Like usually they do like a little bit more depth to them. So I will do a liner with Angel, or I'll deepen it up a little bit. Sometimes we'll just do it, but for a time it was like the best bridal color. My favorite lip brush ever. This is the Mondo 170. I get it at Namie's, I believe. When I go to LA and go makeup shopping, I'll have to check it and see if you can get it online, but it's just the best. I used to buy, I had the hardest time finding a good shaped lip brush, but I used to buy like paint brushes. I would go to like Michael's or whatever, because they're good. Sometimes they make paint brushes way better than makeup brushes for way cheaper. Not always.
And see, I feel the same. I feel the opposite.
Feels the opposite.
I'll buy
like with
makeup
makeup
brushes to use as paint brushes.
That's so funny. It was a while ago. I feel like now there are way better makeup brush options. When I first started, I felt like you could only get super high end, like $30 brushes, whatever, $30 plus. And like the inexpensive brushes were just like, they were not good. So that's when I would go get like mid-range paint brushes or stuff like that. But now you're right though. There's like lots of like inexpensive makeup brushes that are pretty awesome. What ones do you get? Do you like the smaller makeup brushes for detail work? Is that what you tend to get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even a good wash brush, just find a nice foundation brush for a wash brush.
Oh, how funny. A brush is a brush. Remember when eyeshadow used to come with like the sponges? And that's like what you would do your eyeshadow like in junior high or something.
I was gonna say my mom's eyeshadow
Yeah,
palette.
or your mom's, like when you use your mom's makeup.
Or the cheap little, like your daughter would buy a cheap little makeup kit from the store and it still would have that.
The toy makeup still has that. Like when I buy my daughter a little toy makeup, like it will have the sponge. I don't think anyone does. But I mean, you can use the sponge, but brushes are better. I just feel like there's way better brush options now for inexpensive, so we don't need the sponge. Okay, we're gonna do a bit of a gloss. This is Pink Champagne. This is Buxom. It's gonna be such a perfect color to top her lipstick with. I'll hold it up by her face. So it's just like a petal pink, like so pretty. So girly. And I'm just doing the center of the lips. My lights in here are so bright that I often usually will do gloss anyways, but sometimes when I put the gloss on, it makes the lips look uneven on camera. But I like it. Okay, now let's do some mascara. And then if you guys have any questions, drop them now so I can get to them before we sign off. And we did, as always, producer Kelly took a beautiful before video of Lisa. So in a second, once I get the mascara on, we will have Kelly play that. Go ahead and look down. Because I often start the video with at least brows done, pretty much always skin prep. But let me know what you guys like, because sometimes I will have requests to do the complete face, like you guys want to see brows, so I'll do that. I generally switch it up, but if there's something you would like to see, let me know. Okay, go ahead and look up. And again, we did recently change our streaming schedule, so now we're Tuesday and Thursdays around 10 a.m. Pacific time. Sometimes we start early, sometimes we start like 5 or 10 late. But if you are subscribed to my channel, which you should be, so you can get notifications, hit the little bell icon, and then YouTube should like message you when I'm going live. I was often out of town. We took a lot of trips this last couple months, and so we weren't always hitting our Monday live, and then just a couple other things have happened, so we're live streaming every day. But YouTube should notify you. Lisa, you literally have the best lower lashes I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're like top lashes. They're so thick.
These ones are annoying because
oh my
for
gosh.
some reason.
No, don't even complain. Are you gonna complain about
Well,
your
no, I was gonna say when I
lashes?
put mascara, I always do waterproof because these
Yeah.
ones touch my skin and these ones don't, so I'll
Oh,
always
how
get a
funny.
smudge.
How funny. Look down. They're so long, and I have never seen bottom lashes that thick ever. They're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
What, because that happens with my eyes too, just when but it's not my bottom ones, just my top when I close, like it will crease underneath. What mascara do you like?
Waterproof Perversion.
Who does Perversion?
Urban Decay.
Urban Decay, okay. I've seen that one on like bestseller list. I'll have to try it. Because not all waterproof, sometimes waterproof, like from the oils in your skin, will still smudge. Have you ever had that happen?
Not with Perversion.
Okay.
With others I have, but it's funny because I do have to use 2 different types of mascaras
Mascara.
every time I wear mascara.
Really? Yeah. Me too. That's good to know. I'll try that one. Because I've tried a couple waterproof ones and I'll still get smudging, and then they're hard to get off anyways, so it's like if it's not doing its job, then I don't even want it. This is the Dior highlighting palette. It's the Backstage Glow palette, and they have a blush in here which is really fun, so you can sort of top your blush with the glow, and we're just going for it. At least you have a really good skin texture. You have like no pores, so we're just giving you the glow. So pretty. Okay, before we show Lisa, let's show you guys her before video. So Kelly's gonna flash that
Brace
for
yourself.
us. No, she's like so pretty before. Okay, do we get it, Kelly? All right, ready, Lisa?
Mm-hmm.
For the reveal, you can hold on to it.
Oh, nice.
So pretty.
I've always wondered how to contour the nose.
We did it so light.
That's one thing I never do, though.
Yeah, I love
like it.
So pretty.
Very nice.
So pretty,
Very
you guys.
neutral.
Yeah, it's natural. I mean, we did pinks and we did purples, but it's like so wearable. That's what I love about these colors. Okay. Hi, Megan. Thank you for joining us. Okay, Megan says she watches the replay afterwards to catch if you missed anything, and then she says you look beautiful.
Thank you.
She does look beautiful. Well, thank you, Megan. I'm so happy you caught us live. Okay, and Megan loves the complete demos. You said you don't get bored. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, I love live videos. I feel like you learn more when nothing is cut out and you really see. When I've done, and I still have edited video on my channel, and I still will probably do more because there's pros and cons to each. But I feel like when I've made makeup videos, you just cut out so many of the details. If you really want to learn, live is the best. And you probably feel that way. That's probably why you teach your art classes live. Like that's truly how you learn. But thank you guys for joining us live. We'll be back again next Tuesday, and we'll see you guys then. And thank you for modeling for us.
You're always
You were
welcome.
so great. Okay, see you guys.